and gentlemen, first leg, England to throw first.
England skipper John Lowe, veteran of so many battles, first to the throwing mark in this Greene King, England versus the World Challenge.
60.
His opponent, Nicky Virachkul from the United States, the American #1. And in this discipline, you have no time to settle. You've got to get straight into your rhythm.
100.
England, of course, very much the all-conquering nation, the reigning world, European, UK and British champions, and they won this corresponding fixture 13-4 last year.
100.
The Clements Hall Leisure Centre here in Hockley in deepest Essex, absolutely packed to capacity. A sellout a week ago, a black market for tickets.
30.
And Lowe has forged, 30 ahead, as you can see, and he still has the strike.
100.
Virachkul with some work to do here.
100.
Lowe, of course, we saw with that magical first ever televised 9-dart finish.
100.
And it has to be said, still talked about, tremendous match in that MFI World Match Play.
Johnny require 141.
And indeed, 141 was his last 3-dart checkout in that 9-dart. He'll come down for 3/17s. He's found it now, coming for 3/18s, 2/18s, and double 18. We remember him doing this before, and that's just
107.
a fraction too high. Nicky Virachkul still chipping away, but Lowe will have 3 more darts at a double. He needs 2/17s. He may well sacrifice and then come for 2/16s.
101. Johnny requires 34.
Well, Lowe weighing up the options, and I think, well, is he going to go for 2 and 2/16s? No 2/16s. Oh yes.
That's the first leg to John Lowe for England.
And Virachkul goes off, beaten in 17 darts. Bristow, of course, the undisputed world #1. Not a lot of love lost between him and Wilson once they get on the throwing mark.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Second leg, Jocky Wilson to throw first.
So Wilson leading the world side. They trail 1 love, and he has the darts against his old sparring partner, Eric Bristow.
60.
Here's Bristow. Wilson, who indeed has not enjoyed the best of health in recent months, and now under doctor's orders strictly on the wagon.
100.
So it's the quick kill, 1 straight 501 leg, round robin, best of 25. First team to 13 legs, of course, are the victors.
60.
And a £5,000 team prize for the victors up for grabs. Here's Wilson.
100.
Takes him 100 exactly clear of Bristow. Here's the Wian, 34 years old, throwing a 23-gram dart. He's played 36 times for Scotland in full internationals, won 23 of them. Most caps Scottish player. Bristow, 27 years old, 22-gram darts, of course. He's had over 40 caps for England. He's only had 7 losses in all that time. It's going to be a close call, this one.
100.
The scores absolutely locked together on 181. These 3 darts important for Jocky Wilson. That's not a good one. It's a single 5. Comes down.
9 score.
And that really is a disaster for Wilson. A real disaster. Now Bristow with an opportunity to step in. Wilson must retrieve that situation. He's really got to get a tall ton here. 80 scored.
100. Eric, you require 122.
Well, may go across for 18, so wants 122. And now he wants the bullseye to finish to make it 2-0.
97.
It's a fraction away.
Jockey, you require 72.
To level it all up, 72. Wilson. 60 left. Double top. This is a vitally important dart.
52 score.
And it's too low.
Eric, you require 25.
He'll look at 9 with the first dart. And it's only just in. And it's not there. It looks like it could be a 12. Now 8 left. Bristow readjusting there, 12, 5, 2 4s. Wilson goes off, had his chance, 2-0, and Bristow conquers his old rival.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Third leg, Mike Gregory to throw first. Game on.
The British professional and match play champion Mike Gregory is England reel out their galaxy of stars. He's third on, England 2 up.
81.
And for the world crack squad, it's Terry O'Day, Australian and Pacific #1, who, since we've last seen him, appears to have attempted to even make himself more huskier
140
with the beard. Actually, Terry, who is settled over here on our professional circuit, has grown that beard because he has been off the board for a week with a bad attack of gout, been in bed, hasn't shaved.
140.
You might just notice he's walking a little tenderly, Terry O'Day. Oh, Gregory's playing quite magnificently.
140.
O'Day really needs a large score here to take him down to a 3-dart check on his next visit to the board.
95.
Gregory on 180, of course, no 3-dart finish on this. He must finish on a double.
100. Terry, you require 126.
Really should be looking at 19s for 126. Now a single 19 will leave the bull. Bull to make it 2-1. Again, it's an important dart and it's a long way off target.
Mike, you require 80.
To make it 3-0. And now double top. England again. Immaculate finishing. The world man, Terry O'Day, had his chances, but England did the finishing and Gregory puts them 3 up. Well, there's not an empty seat in the house, and dare we say, not a dry throat in the house either.
Ladies and gentlemen, fourth leg, Peter to throw first.
So Peter Locke attempting to stop the rot for the world. They're 3 down and desperately need some blood here.
60.
Cliff Lazarenko, 32 years old, throwing an 18-gram dart. He's played 36 times at top level, won 25 of those matches. Look at that. thoroughly enjoying that moment.
60.
Well, Cliff off with a maximum 180, first we've seen in this Greene King Challenge. And Locke has 2 trebles and 3 trebles.
123.
2 treble 20s and 3 ones. Here's Lazarenko, who looks in a mean mood. He does enjoy the throw here. He was saying when having a practice start on the board that it's a lovely throw here in Hockley. And this, well, the crowd getting rested. To deter Big Cliff 1 jot.
180.
There's a maximum from Locke.
If you require 121.
121 for Lazarenko. He'll come for 3 17s and he wants the ball to finish. A remarkable leg.
96. Katie requires 78.
And 3 18s would have left 2 12s. Now he wants double top. Again, he's missed critically.
Cliff, you require 25.
And England have an opportunity to go 4 up. 16, 2 8s left. And now 2 4s.
21.
And that could be a telling blow.
Katie require 40.
Double top, and the world really need to claw back in here through Peter Locke. 2 10s. And now 5s. And he's missed.
Score.
Oh.
Cliff, you require 4.
2 2s for Lazarenko.
Yes! For England.
In only 16 darts in the final analysis, the world are missing their doubles and they are being made to pay dearly.
Sit down.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. 5th leg, Dave Whitcomb to throw first.
Whitcomb not too far from home here in Hockley. His home base is in Clacton, just up the coast. And he has the first darts here in this 5th match.
60.
And Brennan, who has had his moment or 2 in the past, he took out Eric Bristow in the World Professional, we remember, a couple of years ago.
41.
Really needs to reproduce that form if the world are to get back into contention. England have gone roaring off. 4 up.
60.
Years old now, Brennan, throwing a 22-gram dart, although representing Northern Ireland.
83.
He is, of course, a native of Suffolk, qualifying for Northern Ireland by Irish parentage.
60.
That's 80 scored.
140.
And Brennan has reversed the strike. He is what? 99 ahead.
60. Steve, you require 137.
137. Well, he's got to stay up there.
81.
David Whitcomb wants 176.
140.
Putting the pressure on.
Steve, you require 56.
To make it 4-1, 56. Oh, 49 now going. No double top. Again, it's important to him in again.
Score.
The world representative has missed the double.
36.
And Whitcomb could punish him here. Now 2 9s.
Yes!
And again, it's the old story. England are hitting the doubles, and they now lead 5-0. Brennan had his chance. Whitcomb, though, was the man with the finish. And now, they've all had a taste of the stage, they have 3 practice starts only. Gregory successful in her first match against Terry O'Day.
Rest of the world throwing first. Game on.
Peter Locke, who had darts at a double against Cliff Lazarenko, and Locke here with the darts, and the world have really got to start getting their act together. He maybe will swing down, he does.
84.
The most resourceful start from Gregory.
41.
Gregory has taken back the darts already. An ominous sign for the world.
55.
Peter Locke, we saw him recently on ITV being pipped in the British Open final against John Cosnett. Later revealed that he had a bet for 37,000 on that match. So what must have been going through his mind? Peter Locke, who earlier this year was on the dole drawing Social Security.
121. 100. 41.
And that's an opportunity for Locke to gain some ground here. He lost the strike, could win it back with these 3 darts.
60. Mike requires 134.
Remarkably, Gregory's only played a couple of times for England. That's an indication just of his more recent arrival on the big time scene. That's 3-5, second dart.
54 scored. Peter requires 116.
For first blood for the world. Now 36, 2/18s left,
yes!
And that is the game shot for Peter Locke. England's first defeat. Gregory goes off looking a little downcast, and maybe that will inspire the world.
For England, Cliff Lazarenko. The rest of the world, Steve Brennan. This time, please, England throwing first. Game on.
5-1 in front. England, who won this corresponding fixture 13-4 last year, confirming their global superiority. Here's Cliff Lazarenko.
100.
Steve Brennan, this polished, very classy player, unruffleable.
43.
Lazarenko, you have to remember these players are all playing for a place in the World Cup later this year, which we'll be seeing exclusively on ITV from Brisbane. And of course we have the Nations Cup coming up next month, and there are places at stake there.
140!
Such is the competition for places. We have to consider that former European champion Bobby George and ex-world champion Keith Deller out of the reckoning for today's squad. That gives some indication of England's depth and strength.
100.
Lazarenko was 38 in front before those 3 darts, so comfortably has a cushion now and has a check next time.
80, unlucky. Cliff requires 120.
So all the 20s for Cliff Lazarenko. Now the treble will leave double. Double top, 4-6-1. And that was the most uncharacteristic third dart. Brennan back on 178.
98. Cliff requires 20.
2 10s to make it England 6, the world 1.
Yeah!
And again, no trouble at all for the Englishmen. They're doubling.
7 plates
Their
to
finishing
England.
has been glossy. Well, Nicky Virachkul, former World Cup singles champion in 1979. Player of considerable international experience. Against David Whitcomb, the pro they call Dracula because they say he does his
This
best
time,
work
please, rest
at
of the
night.
world throwing first. Game on.
And Virachkul really needs to take this one out, and the world really need to hit a purple patch to get back into this Greene King Challenge.
100.
David Whitcomb. There's 2 trebles, room for a third.
140.
Not quite. Virachkul played in this match last year.
81.
But really the story has been all about doubles, and the England elite have not missed one, and that's just been the difference between the 2
45.
squads. The voice, of course, of referee corner Tony Greene, perhaps the best known in darts.
140.
That's his second 10-40 of this leg. He's down to 176 after 9, David Whitcomb. Really looking at his peak.
81.
Well, he's got to come out surely, yes.
136. Nicky requires 139.
And Virachkul needs this 139 kill. Well, he is ducking around all over the place. It looks as though he has got, what, 3 11s there. He's got 49, he should be 49 left.
107 score.
Well, only he knows what he was going for. Might
Dave
just be
requires
academic.
40.
Double top for Whitcomb to make it 7-1. 2 10s. Again, immaculate finishing.
England. Moving on now, the 9th leg for England, the captain John Lowe. Scotland's captain Jocky Wilson. This time, please, England throwing first. Game on.
And it's the immaculate old stone-faced John Lowe, the skipper, with the darts. 7-1, England lead.
100.
Wilson narrowly beaten by Eric Bristow in his opening match. Dearly love to get among the Englishmen.
140.
That's 2 trebles for Lowe.
108.
There's the third. Almost computerized accuracy. And look at Jocky Wilson reply.
125.
It's a marvellous match. No 15 on and these.
45.
And that has got to be interpreted as a slip by Lowe. Now, will Wilson step in?
100.
We have to marvel at these darts. Remember, they're coming on virtually cold and getting straight into their rhythm.
Jockey requires 136.
For the world's second success, he needs the trebles. And that's fine to the big 20.
40 score. John requires 116.
Well, we all know about Lowe's finishing power. 116 going. And that's 3 ones. Disillusionment. Now he must come down for a treble.
76
on the odd numbers. One across
Jockey
the
requires
313s. It's a chance for Wilson. He wants 96. Now 76. Must get the treble. Now 2 8s. And that is the winning double. And that is a famous victory for Jocky Wilson over John Lowe, who has England's best record. He's only been beaten 6 times. A rare moment.
Welcome to the 10th leg, first of all, for England, Eric Bristow. And for the rest of the world, Terry O'Day.
And if Terry O'Day here could take Eric Bristow's scalp, that would give this Greene King Challenge a completely different complexion.
This time, please, Terry to throw first. Game on.
And the dynamic digger, Terry O'Day with the darts, and we wonder if he'll recall just back in October of the MFI match play when he took out Eric Bristow sensationally in the first round.
140!
7-2 the score, but this match, one sense, is by no means over. And Bristow is galloping off. Quite sensational. Really must be like a kick in the solar plexus to step in and face a maximum 180.
100!
Bristow with one maximum 180 under his belt in this leg. That's another treble.
140!
And this is the world #1 playing like the best on earth. Bristow has gained the darts and seems to be magnetised into the trebles. And he will switch.
83!
Which leaves him 98. So a check out, definitely a proposition next time. Terry O'Day back on 201. Looks like he's going to switch.
105. Eric requires 98.
Well, we'll watch to see what Bristow does here. That's a single.
58 score. Terry requires
double top.
96.
And now O'Day with another opportunity to take Eric Bristow. He wants 96. 76 going. 2 8s for a famous win.
Yes! Rest of the world.
Well, what a turnaround. We've seen Lowe beaten. We have seen Eric Bristow beaten. We have a match on. 7-3 the score. Terry O'Day limps off. But he won't be forgetting that moment in a long while. Bristow beaten. That's a surprise. And Dave Whitcomb, who has won both his first 2 matches and has won them both on the double, it has to be said.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. 11th leg, Dave to throw first. Game on.
Freddie Williams, the referee caller. Whitcomb first to throw.
140.
That's a fair pace for Wilson to match.
100.
This match really is alive and bubbling.
100. 60. 59.
Yeah, sensible change of tactics from Whitcomb there. Not much of the treble 20 shown. He swung downstairs. Only a single 19 there.
100.
Whitcomb 39 in front and these.
100. 100. David require 102.
102 for David Whitcomb then. 42 no go now. 2 16s.
70.
That's the wrong side of the wire.
Jockey require 141.
Needs it desperately. 141 Wilson, not on now. 5.
70. David require 32.
2 16s to steady the ship. 2 8s for Whitcomb.
Yes, that's it.
David Whitcomb's third victory, and he has been the most consistent of the Englishmen.
For the 12th leg, will you welcome for the rest of the world, Terry O'Day. And for England, the captain, John Lowe.
Lowe, the top earner in British darts. In prize money alone in 1984, he took home over £127,000.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. 12th leg, Terry to throw first. Game on.
The score, England 8, the world 3. Terry O'Day bucked, no doubt, by a victory over Eric Bristow, now facing John Lowe. Just the wrong side of the wire, second dart, 3 1s.
43.
And Lowe, in turn, a very, very rare defeat in England colours for him from Jocky Wilson on his last visit to the stage. He'll be anxious to atone for that.
140. 80.
Locke deserting the former Aussie rules player, Terry O'Day. Years old now, Terry. He recently has changed darts, throwing a much weightier 24-gram dart in the last couple of months. Used to throw a lightweight 19-gram.
120.
Well, he lost another dart there, but it didn't really affect his overall scoring. Terry hanging on in there. Just 17 between these two fine players at this stage.
100.
Has got 2 trebles.
140. Terry require 158.
So this one again a tight one. It's going to be all about who can get to the doubles and hit them.
John, you require 101.
101, Lowe is inclined to go for treble 20 with the first dart and has found it. Now 41, he'll probably stay there for the one, yes, and now double top for the leg. Oh, super shooter. 15 darts only, no wonder Terry O'Day is shaking his head. The skipper puts England back on course. They now lead 9-3.
13th leg, ladies and gentlemen. Will you welcome, for the rest of the world, Peter Locke. And for England, Bristow.
Bristow, doubtless stung by that defeat by Terry O'Day last time out. Peter Locke has won a match against Mike Gregory and lost one.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. 13th leg, Eric to throw first. Game on.
Bristow to the mark, England leading 9-3.
140.
His opponents, Peter Locke with a win against Mike Gregory to inspire his confidence.
55. 140.
Two successive 1040s, and it virtually is impossible to match that kind of pacemaking.
100.
You see, Bristow has stretched away clear daylight already in this leg. Swinging for 19s.
39. 80. 100.
Well, that leaves Eric Bristow 82. Well, I have to watch how he goes for that. It has been his fashion to go for the bull and 2 16s.
100.
And he's got some time.
82.
Because Locke won't be able to finish on 166. So which way will Bristow go? He's gone for the bull, and now 2 16s, and now 2 8s. The crowd a little premature with their applause. Peter Locke on the bogey 166. No 3-dart finish on this. To believe himself useful, mind. Should come for 18s, yes.
134.
Keeping the pressure on.
Eric requires 16.
And the crafty Cockney rarely misses. And now 2 4s.
12 score.
Well, we said rarely, and that's one of those moments. Now here's a chance for Peter Locke. 2 16s. Yes, he has that. That's the second defeat for Eric Bristow. Quite astounding.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. For the 14th leg, will you welcome, to represent the rest of the world, Steve Brennan. His opponent in this leg, representing England, Mike Gregory. Ladies and gentlemen, 14th leg, Steve to throw first. Game on.
Steve Brennan, who needs to taste blood here.
81.
The crowd still a little stunned by the knowledge that Eric Bristow beat him twice.
100.
The match still far from over. 9-4 the overall score. First to 13 legs, of course, takes the £5,000 Greene King prize.
100.
chance for Brennan. Here's the trim figure of Mike Gregory, and we have to say here darts gets a fair bit of stick about its grotesqueness, but here's two nice
60
well turned out young men who would be a credit to most sports.
121. Steve, you require 99.
And could go here. 42. 2 16s to put the world very much back
67.
in. Brennan has played quite beautifully in this leg. 3 tens he has scored and is at a double next time.
100. Steve, you require 32.
2 16s and now 2 8s. Oh
24.
dear, that really was a dodgy old third
I
dart.
require 100.
Could let Gregory in. 80 now going. And now 2 10s.
80. Steve, you require 8.
And he can't afford to shilly-shally. And doesn't.
Yes, 14th leg. Steve Brennan in the rest of the world.
In 19 darts, Brennan makes it. The world 5, England 9, and now the world have won 5 of the last 9 matches.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the flyers for the 15th leg. For the rest of the world, Nicky Virachkul. For England, Cliff Lazarenko.
Well, as the world come back into this challenge, we can just look at the differing records of these two players. Cliff Lazarenko hasn't been beaten. He's won his first 2 matches, and Nicky Virachkul has lost his first 2. So if this one goes to form, England should again steady the ship, which has looked a bit shaky. But if Nicky Virachkul can find his peak, well, an interesting proposition.
Ladies and gentlemen, 15th leg, Cliff to throw first.
Lazarenko, it has to be said, playing for his place in the Nations Cup squad on ITV and indeed the World Cup.
100.
Has done his chances precious little harm so far here in Essex. Virachkul, who many feel perhaps has just passed his best days.
81.
And on that third dart, I think he might agree. Oh, look at Big Cliff go.
140.
Well, the world has done better on this second challenge to England than they did last year. They've already won 5 matches.
23.
And might win a few more yet.
60.
Nicky Virachkul, reputation amongst the pros as being a rare old gambler. Here's Big Cliff, who relaxes and prepares for big matches, playing rock and roll videos, and it can be said he's really in the groove at the moment.
60.
There's the score, with Lazarenko down at a potential 3-dart kill next time. Virachkul has suddenly found his game.
180.
Right back in. Right back in.
141.
Now the pressure's on Cliff Lazarenko. Oh, that was unlucky off the bull wire.
Nicky, you require 57.
And Virachkul looking at 57. And double top, and this could make it just 3 in it.
37 score.
Too low. And now
Nicky
Lazarenko.
requires 61.
61, which way will he try?
13, 15.
Now 48, now double top. It was a 13 with the first start. Taking his time to compose himself again. Just too low.
Nicky required 20.
2 10s for the American. Now 2 5s. And he has cracked that, and Lazarenko will breathe again.
Nicky required 20.
2 10s.
Yes, 15
Virachkul will regret those missed doubles, so will the world, because they had a very real chance of getting right on England's tail there. 10-5 the score in England's favour, but the world have fought back pluckily and really have had England shaky on more than one moment. Still not all over. England needing 3 more legs to win the £5,000 team prize. And when we look at the score chart, England went off to a roaring 5-0 start, but over the last 10 legs it's 5 apiece.
This time then, please, it's Steve to throw first. Game on.
This is the 16th match. We've had 71 scores of 100 or more, 5 180s, the highest finish 116 by Peter Locke.
140!
And we have had perhaps the biggest surprise in that Eric Bristow has been beaten twice.
100!
Here is Steve Brennan, who has lost 2 matches and won 1. Of course, he was the conqueror of Bristow famously in the World Professional Championship a couple of years ago. And if Bristow's form has been a little disappointing, the mainstays of the England squad, both Cliff Lazarenko and Dave Whitcomb, unbeaten at this moment.
81! Tom the Clock is here. 81. 125.
Bristow desperately needed those last 2 darts, takes him down to 195, but Brennan's still in front.
81.
Disappointing 3rd dart from the Northern Irishman.
90. Steve requires 99.
To be the 3rd man to beat Eric Bristow, now 80. Now 22 10s.
79 score.
Just a whisker away.
And Eric requires 105.
105, 3 19s, 57 will leave 48. And it looks like a 2 with the first dart.
39 scored. Steve requires 20.
And Brennan has his chances. Looks a useful marker. Getting closer.
No score.
Costly.
Eric requires 66.
66 for Bristow. Now the ball, and he wants 2 8s, and that is the exhibition finish from Eric Bristow. Brennan looks annoyed with himself, as well he might. He had a rare chance there, and Bristow playing to the gallery. Well, Mike Gregory here from Avon will not be happy with his recent form. He's lost his last 2 matches, only won 1. And if he's unhappy, how about this likeable little fellow from Dallas, Nicky Virachkul, who hasn't won a match. He's lost all 3. And in fact is the only member of the world squad who has yet to open his ducks. So Gregory, with England now needing just 2 more legs to take the £5,000 team prize.
140.
And the crowd here in Essex has been boisterous.
81.
just to understate it, once or twice they have not really been too fair on the players.
100.
Gregory again has opened a score cushion up. But Virachkul is a fighter.
140. So
that's 140, 100, 140 for Gregory, down at 121 after only 9 darts.
Mike requires 121.
Could go out in 12 darts here. The best finish we've had so far. He wants the ball, and there is the shot. That's the highest finish we've had, 121, finishing on the ball. Gregory looking absolutely superb.
We're now moving on to our 18th leg.
England needing just this leg to take the prize, and Jocky Wilson knows the task ahead of him. Lazarenko hasn't been beaten. Jocky, not perhaps right on top of his form, but still dangerous, has won a match and lost 2. So the world will look to Wilson,
please, Jockey throwing first,
to keep them alive in this Greene King World Challenge. 12-5 the score.
55.
Third dart just screwing into the treble 5 segment. Lazarenko. And Big Cliff really has played like a man inspired here in Essex.
39.
And that surely is a sign that Wilson is struggling. Team down for 19s after scoring just 2 single 5s. And one suspects that Lazarenko smells the kill already.
140.
2-ton 40s. Well gained the darts.
100.
And Lazarenko on 121 could wrap it all up. Next visit to the mark.
43. Cliff requires 121.
To guide England home. 1-2-1. Now he's got to come out before
53 score. Cliff requires 68.
68 then for Lazarenko in the match. Now 2 4s. Oh, that's a tremendous finish again from Lazarenko, going through this fixture unbeaten. England star Wilson played pluckily enough. But there it is, once again, England, the world champions, have romped home 13-5, and we can but wonder, where are we going to find opposition? Maybe we should blindfold them.
It's Finland to throw first. Game on.
And something of a fairy tale final in prospect with Finland, the new boys, first time in this Nations Cup, getting through to the final undefeated thus far.
100.
In against the all-conquering England elites, Cliff Lazarenko on the Jockey, and of course his opponent in this first match, Arto Lintunen from Finland.
100.
In fact, both these sides are unbeaten in the competition. And the Finns, who we fancied would be one of the emerging nations, have justified our expectations. They really have done splendidly.
45.
And it is heartening to see some new nations coming through. England have had things pretty much their own way for a long while. And there's no doubt they'll go for the throat here. I won't be too interested in giving the Finns any kind of early psychological boost. Here is Lintunen, whose form in the semi-final against America when they came back from being 3-1 down was impressive.
95.
And the Finns really have shown a lot of style and a lot of character. Big Cliff steamrolled everybody early on. He lost one leg in all the early matches.
140.
And the England team, of course, playing with the additional incentive of knowing that tomorrow the selectors pick their World Cup squad. Look at Lintunen go.
140. England require 161.
It's going to be a close call. 161 for Lazarenko, 121 for the Finn.
41 score. Finland require 121.
Lintunen wants 121. It's got to come down for 3:17 to leave the pool, and he's got it. What a start this would be for them. And he's in the 25 ring.
England require 120.
And Lazarenko knows he's got to go for it. 120. Looks like a single with the first start just below the wire.
40. Lucky. Finland require 25.
Well, 9 maybe his shot, but perhaps 17 2-4s. That's his favourite way now. 2-4s for a 1-0 lead for Finland against the odds. Looks a useful marker. It was.
First leg.
Incredible. Finland drew first blood.
So a good start there to Finland. Moving on to our second leg for England, Bristow.
And the crowd here is Alexander Pavilion, rise to their folk hero, Bristow, coming in on stage at a time when I'm quite sure he would not have envisaged, with England trailing 1-0 to Finland in the final in against Tapani, Uitos. Bristow, who indeed was England's anchorman last weekend against Wales in the British International Championship over the 15-man discipline, when he was just perhaps a little fortunate to win against Owen Thomas. These are just the practice darts, and Bristow, who is used to the white-hot atmosphere of big-time darts, has been now for, what, a decade. Whereas his opponent here, Uitos, in his first major televised final, although he did play in the World Cup in Edinburgh.
This time, please, England throwing first. Game on.
And the crowd here, and it is packed, getting behind the world number one, Bristow, with England trailing 1 set to love, and Bristow roaring away.
140.
Here's Uitos with a very straight arm throwing action, a useful player, very cool Finn.
81.
Bristow, who loves to really step in against a comparatively inexperienced opponent and really go for the throat.
100.
Does not allow any liberties, Bristow, gives away very few gifts. Uitos is not above having a little dabble downstairs, have a single 19 there. Turn for Bristow takes him down to 161 after 9 darts. A 12 dart finish, a possibility here.
100. England require 161.
Well, Eric needs the treble 21st dart, and he's got it. Treble 17 will leave the pool. That's a single 17.
78 score.
Takes Bristow down to 83. Single 17 with the second dart there.
60. And England require 83.
We'll look at 3 17s to leave 32. Well, he wanted 66. I think he may well have gone for the ball to try and leave 2-8. Very bold. Still his opponent back on 220. And the Finn is really struggling.
64.
Picked up the pace with the third dart, but Bristow needing 32 doesn't often miss this target. No 2-8s.
Yes!
Crowd rise, England are back on terms, one apiece, and Bristow once again is the man that set them back on the straight and narrow.
Third leg for England, Jocky Wilson. And for Finland, Jocky Wilson.
Jocky Wilson, the Finn who stole the deciding match in the semi against the Americans to bring them on to the main stage in against John Lowe. Again, such a familiar figure on these big television occasions. Lowe, the inscrutable and the unflappable. Wilson, 29-year-old truck driver, is the Finns' most seasoned international player. And Lowe, of course, is England's most capped player.
This time, please, Finland to throw first. Game on.
And Finland, through Arto, have first darts. It's the round robin best of 9 legs format in this 9th staging of the nation's triples, with of course England seeking their 4th consecutive win.
140!
And that's a start that will give Lowe something to think about. It hasn't been entirely a disastrous tournament for Scandinavian nations. The Swedes won it back in the second year of the competition, 78. The only time a Scandinavian or indeed a European nation has won a major team event. So Finland have a little bit of history on their side. Just a quick recap on England's successes in their group. They beat Northern Ireland 7-2, the Belgians 9-0, and America narrowly 5-4. And of course in the semi they had a bit of a classic with the Welsh. Now Finland, undefeated. They won all their group matches by the odd match, 5-4 against Sweden, Scotland and Wales, and just stole the last match in the semi against the Americans. So they certainly have been showing their class and ability over the full distance. Who's to say this one won't go that far as well?
140!
Lowe, as always, blinding consistency. 100, 100, 140 takes it down to 161. On Arto, 140, 160.
83.
One on manfully.
61.
161 for Lowe. And a 12-dart kill. Yes. 51 to leave the bullseye. 84 now remaining. Now, which way would he go? Should really come back up for 3 20s to leave double 12.
137 score. Finland require 118.
And the Finns, Arto wants 118. It is possible. Certainly is now. He wants the bull. Oh.
96
Again. Plucky effort. Lowe being taken all the way here, wants 2 12s, hasn't really been finishing that well. Missed a couple of crucial doubles earlier on today. 2 6s. And once again the pressure is on him.
12
and he's missed again.
Finland require 32.
And now
32.
There seems to be some confusion about the double required. Well, it should be 2 11s by the official scoring, and Arto's come down for 2 16s and gets 2 8s. Now there's confusion.
It's 86 scored the game shot before. Okay. 86.
Well, Arto has won the game. It's been called a game. A little bit of confusion there.
For Finland, Tapani, Uitos.
Well, the Finns are 2-1 up, and Lowe's been beaten, having missed the double. And it really was, just looking back over our scores there to sort it out. The Finn, as you remember, wanted the bullseye to finish and got an 18 with the dart, which indeed left him 2 16s. So an incorrect call there, very rare at this level.
England first. Game on.
And England 2-1 down, and a major surprise as Lazarenko steps back into the fray. And Lazarenko beaten first time out, and he'll be anxious to put that right.
100.
His opponent, the imperturbable Tapani Uitos with a straight arm, classic throwing action. He lost to Eric Bristow first time out. Knows that England are trailing, and that really is a little bit of an eyebrow raiser.
81.
Really is beneficial to the game, I'm sure you'll agree, to see new nations coming into the limelight. For so long, England have had things pretty much their own way.
22.
But of course, they were pushed hard in the European Cup final by the Irish, and last weekend the Welsh gave them an almighty fright. And the World Cup is coming up in October.
100.
And they're all battling for places in the four-man squad, and Lazarenko very much in contention. He knows that as well. We will, of course, be seeing the World Cup finals exclusively on ITV.
100. England require 120.
120 for Lazarenko to level it all up at 2 apiece. Wants the treble, 20 to leave double. So he'll stay right there. He might come out. He does so.
56 score.
Could not see enough of the target. He wanted 80. Leaves him 64.
And England requires 64.
64 required by Cliff Lazarenko. And now the double.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good finish. Really was a confident finish in 18 darts by Cliff Lazarenko, and England are back on terms, 2 apiece.
Fifth leg for England, Eric Bristow. For Finland, Jocky Wilson.
And the crafty Cockney, looking like he means business, steps back on stage. Eric Bristow, world number 1 against Keksi Hajo, the Finnish number 1. Hajo, who did his mathematics right despite some confusion and beat John Ryan. Bristow, not for the first time in his brilliant career, playing to the gallery.
This time, please, Finland throwing first.
The practice starts thus completed. Both these players won their opening final leg, and Heine Hajo, the Finn, has the darts here. Bristow with his 22 gram Duro darts, as always, going pretty well where he wants them to. Moved into an early lead, the crafty Cockney. And that's 2 trebles from Bristow.
140.
So that's 140. Bristow, as always, in a mighty mean mood. It's an uncharacteristic second dart and third one. 22 from Bristow. Disillusion at Alexander Pavilion. Chance for the Finn to capitalise. Looks like he will too. And that will give Eric Bristow plenty to think about here. Takes the Finn in front. They're having a compelling final here, right against the odds. Really is developing into quite a match. Bristow will change direction.
99.
Needs 2 treble 20s to leave 2 19s here, the Finn, for a really incredible finish. That's a single 20, just below the treble wire.
98 score. England require 140.
And Bristow really needs to shoot this, and he's not going to. And he has to come down for an odd number to even it up. And the Finn is in with a real chance here. 60 required. And looking at a big support. Oh, that's a 1. Now double top. Seems to be snatching his darts, but he's not snatched that one. Bristow beaten by a Finn. And look at that for an expression. And the crowd here are stunned. We are on the threshold of quite a surprise.
John Lowe. Arto Lintunen.
England are the World Cup champions, they're the European champions, they're the British international champions, they are the Nations Cup holders, and Lowe here is their skipper who lost his opening match, and the Finns, who we always have thought are dangerous and emerging, are really playing well beyond our expectations. They're playing out of their skins, and here is Arto Lintunen, who won his opening match as Finland now lead this final 3-2.
Start please, England throwing first. Game on.
And England again looking to Lowe. If the Finns win this one, and it really is quite a prospect, just one match away from the title. And you'd have got a million to 1 against that before today's play started.
140.
And Lintunen is the man on form on this stage. He won his 3 semi-final matches, we recall, and his first match in the final. Seems to be a real discovery, this lad.
140.
He has matched John Lowe. And the crowd here, who really came to celebrate and really came to see England home to a 4th win, have been forced into a respectful hush by the form of the Finns. They really have been quite a surprise. Look at him go.
140.
2 successive 10-40s for Lintunen. He leads by 40. That's 2 trebles from Lowe. And the third. Lifts England and lifts the crowd. Takes him down to a 2-dart check, but Lowe has not been finishing well.
81. England require 81.
He'll look for 3 15s for a start to leave his favoured 2 18s now. He needs it now. Again, he's just wide. That one isn't though. And that's a roar of relief, incredibly, from the crowd. 3 apiece.
Marvellous regards from both players. Moving further ahead now, 3 apiece, 7th leg. England, Cliff Lazarenko.
And here's Big Cliff coming back in. He's won a match and lost a match in the final, 50% record. He won't be too happy about that. He needs to catch the selector's eye in against Keksi Hainaharjo, who has won both his matches. 3 apiece, and the crowd here, we're talking blithely of a whitewash before this final. And it's 3 apiece. But again, it has to be said, it's got to be good for darts. A lot of people have got just a little tired of seeing England steamroller everybody, and they've got plenty to think about here.
This time, please, Finland to throw first. Game on.
Heine Harjo, no questioning this fellow's class. He was a little disappointed because there was plenty of the treble to shoot at with the second two darts. Big cliff.
85.
Needed that treble with the third dart. An early advantage to the Finn. And Heine Harjo must be feeling 10 feet tall. He's beaten Eric Bristow.
60.
Here sense that Lazarenko could gain with these three darts.
100.
Again, plenty of the treble showing with the two darts for Heine Harjo.
100.
So that's 2 tons and a 60 from the Finn. Still giving Cliff Lazarenko a task to chase and to match.
40 unlucky.
He didn't do so there. 35 on Heine Harjo and these. That's 80 scored, treble second dart.
100.
Critical ton 40 takes the Finn down to 60 next time. Lazarenko can't finish on 176, so Finland know the players should have darts at a double to go 4-3 up.
60. Finland require 60.
Now then, 60 going. Double top for a 4-3 lead.
Yeah!
And he has done it.
It's the 7th lead to Finland.
Well, there's the score, and who really would have thought that? Finland 4-3 up and just need this next leg for perhaps the biggest surprise in the history of darts.
Bristow. For Finland, Arto.
And once again, Eric Bristow comes onto stage with all the responsibility on his shoulders. Last week it was against Wales, but now it's to stop well, just about the biggest sensation we've seen since the emergence of darts as a television sport. Bristow in against Arto, Lintunen, both have won one and lost one. And the crowd trying to lift Bristow. I'm quite sure he won't need motivation. Oh, tremendous final we're having here. Who said that darts was all about the same old names and the same old players?
This time, please, England to throw first. Game on.
Bristow with darts to take us into a last match decider. But he's got to win it, and Lintunen is no mug.
100.
Well, a clear advantage with the first three darts for Bristow. Change of direction, and a good one.
78.
Sensible thinking from the Finn, gets treble 19 third dart, but there's still a lot of daylight in the scores between Bristow and his rival here.
40 unlucky.
England don't really need luck like that at this stage. They are trailing 4-3 to the Finns. What has been perhaps the most surprising team final we've seen the history of this television boom sport. England really are struggling slightly. Quite extraordinary. Bristow down at 176, and the Finn has not really stitched his game together at all. Well, no ton yet.
45.
Emphasises and underlines the class of Eric Bristow. Unperturbed by losing a dart off the wire. Still crashed in the two trebles to take him down to 56.
140.
And Bristow knows his rival is run on his tail. That's a 7. He wanted a 16. That really is untypical. Now 32, 2 16s. Oh yes. Bristow turns to the crowd, it's 4 apiece. And, well, that just shows how worried he was. 4 apiece, we're going the full distance, the brave Finns are still in there, and England still have it to do.
Well, certainly the greatest final ever in the Nations Cup. Our last leg, the final leg for England, John Lowe.
If you wanted a good man in a crisis, you could not ask for a better than John Lowe, the captain, who has won 1 and lost 1, and his opponent, Tapani, Uitos, and it is a reflection of the attitude of the crowd. They gave him a fairly indifferent reception. Earlier on they had been applauding the pluck and fight of the Finns. Now they're plainly worried. Uitos hasn't won a match in the final. And, well, if they have an Achilles heel, it could be this fellow, Uitos. And Lowe will exploit that if given the opportunity.
Please, the final leg is Finland going first. Game on.
So it could be a historical match as Uitos bids for the greatest day in Finnish darts and the biggest upset in international darts.
60.
Lowe, who we've seen across the world for 10 years, we've seen him pull off the remarkable 9 darts, first ever televised, perfect finish, as fresh responsibility for England.
43.
He won't be too happy with that start. Oh, crowd, you can hear. Hoot. Absolutely locked together, but the Finn has the darts, and he indeed is making them pay.
140.
John Lowe needs a 10-40 to stay on terms.
Unlucky John.
And Uitos has opened an advantage of 60 now. And these. Again retrieving the situation with the third dart. He's down at a finish, 137. Lowe back on 278. Extended to the limits of his talent. 137 he needs. He's got to come out.
97 score.
And he needs double top. And Lowe wants 138, crucially for England. 138. That's 6. That's a single 20. The Finns are going to have a go at a double to win right against the odds.
100.
What a moment this could be. Hold on to your chairs. There's the winning dart. Finland have done it. That is quite unbelievable. England, the world champions, beaten by the complete underdogs in their first ever Nations Cup. It is the Finns who win, and that is the biggest surprise we have ever seen in darts. Unbelievable.
Into the Nations Cup, and there they are, the champions. Can you please come on the stage, please? Finland, Keksi, Tapani, Arto. Would like to do a presentation for cameras only. Making the presentation is Mark Brennan, the marketing director of Incu.